Good evening everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic, and the only superhero show that has mattered is finally back on the air. Back on Netflix, might I add. Daredevil Season 3.
There's only one true way to end evil. To finish it for good.
The Matt Murdock saga just got a little bit more murkier, as if it needed to get more murkier. It picks up right at the end of The Defenders, and it shows a literal fall of grace in Matt Murdock. He's falling in this fireball down to the earth. There's a Christian cross in the middle of the screen. It's really provocative and weird stuff to begin the show off with. The imagery of the very first shot is mind-blowing, and it transitions to Matt falling, almost like a fallen angel, like Icarus. And that's the same word I'll describe this first episode with as well. Incredible. It reminds me of The Wolverine, quite the underrated superhero film, in which we are shown that what a superhero has to do when one of his powers don't work. Daredevil's vision is knocked out of sync, as he's gone deaf in one ear and is suffering from massive internal bleeding. The first episode, however, Matt not just struggling with his physical health but also his faith. He's completely apathetic towards Christianity. He chooses to not let anyone know that he survived. Throughout his crisis, lots of shallow depth of field is used in over-the-shoulder shots, really putting forth the point that Matt can't see anything now, even more than before. His ear is in complete focus, but everything in front of him completely blurred. You know, it sells the point visually as well. This plays an even bigger role throughout the whole series as well, because the whole over-the-shoulder dynamic with the blurred shot plays a role with Matt's demons haunting him. Now this can be Wilson Fisk, this could be his dad. So they show up right behind Matt Murdock while he's sitting, and they start taunting him. Very much like how Jean Grey appeared in The Wolverine, but the way they're telling the story by using a single shot, that aesthetic of using out-of-focus space and imagery as a story tool, is what puts forth this saga of Daredevil and the weight of being a superhero on a much higher playing field than any other superhero film. Speaking of Fisk, using a villain to taunt the hero in his mind is such a cool story trope. Fisk constantly haunts Matt and reminds him that the collateral damage caused by him is also partly on Matt's hands. He tells Matt what he wants to hear. As the season progresses, the level of blurriness gets lower, however. It shows Matt coming into control ever so slowly. It's more subtle than what they did in The Wolverine. It's a little bit more similar to what they did in The Arkham Knight, when the Joker's constantly mocking you and talking to you throughout the whole game. And you can see it having an effect on Batman. When we have superheroes, we must have action. It's like bread and butter. And the bravura action sequence of this season was in episode 3. It left my jaw hanging. My heart was going at 144 beats per minute, something like that. It was absolutely intense, man. And it's a prison breakout scene. It goes on for like 15 minutes in one take. And it's not just one take of Matt walking out of a prison. Matt fighting in a hallway, then fighting in another hallway, then having a meeting with an Albanian, then fighting with an Albanian bodyguard, fighting again, getting out of the jail. It's all so well orchestrated. You see the smoke, you see all the people, the rest of the guards fighting, you see the lighting changes. Everything, it's just so well done. It's one of the most fantastic pieces of cinema I've seen. I would put it up there with The Touch of Evil. You know, The Touch of Evil long take. It's that good, man. It's that. I was amazed. This is special because they didn't hide any cuts, not like Birdman where the cuts were hidden. This was legit. It felt legit. It went on for 15 minutes. Again, I mean, it's impressive what they did, but I was more impressive with how it felt. It's a 3-act structure within itself. It starts slow, there's a catalyst being Kingpin owning the prison, and by the end it's a total shit show. Everyone in Daredevil is putting on a front. They're hiding something that they're not. Matt Murdock is hiding his Matt Murdock persona. He chooses to become complete Daredevil over here. And Kingpin is hiding, Wilson Fisk, I should say, is hiding his Kingpin persona. And this is shown to us not only through the acting, but shown to us through the costumes that they're wearing. Multiple times we're gonna see, and we saw this in the trailer as well, Wilson Fisk is wearing a white suit jacket. You know, he's the White Knight. And underneath that, he's wearing a black shirt. And it's the opposite with Matt Murdock. He's wearing a white shirt over his black or gray sports jacket or blazer. Whereas Kingpin is hiding his darkness and putting on a front of honesty, it's the opposite with Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock is hiding his faith, which he has given up on. He's hiding his honesty and putting up a front that he's become an evil man. It's a very well done existential crisis shown to us through the costumes, albeit very simple. It's super simple. The overall story is inspired by my favorite comic book of all time, Daredevil Born Again. If you haven't seen my video on Daredevil Born Again, here is a link. Please go watch it. You'll enjoy it. In which we see Matt in complete shambles, physically and spiritually, and he forgets who he is. The comic was incredible because of how Matt was constantly thinking of crossing a line. There's a lot of that here, but I do think they went a little parental guidance PG. The final fight scene, which yet again is another incredible friggin' epic fight scene. It doesn't necessarily top the hallway fight when it comes to epicness, but it does top the hallway fight when it comes to emotion. I watched that scene like 20 times in a row. The acting by Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox, they should get some recognition for that. It's brilliant work. It's an unbelievable fight sequence between three people. Bullseye joins in on the fun as well, and it ends with Matt yelling in Kingpin's face. He has to fight his way. He has to fight with his inner self. He has to muster every fiber of his being to not go through with crossing that line with the Kingpin. And Charlie Cox just He blows it out of the water, man. That's all I can say. My issue is Matt should have continued the beatdown. Born Again had a satisfying ending because it was a self-contained arc. This being a TV show, and I hope season 4's around the corner, they should have had Matt continue the beatdown, not kill Kingpin. He should have crossed somewhat of a line. Matt, does the right thing at the end of the day, but how far did he have to take himself to do that right thing? That's what I wanted to see at the end of Daredevil. The ending of Daredevil season 3 is a bit too happy for my tastes, and but who knows? Daredevil season 4, let's see what they do. It's just an unbelievable 13 hours of television, which I had finished within a day. 5 out of 5. Fantastic acting by Vincent D'Onofrio and Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox, and an overall bombastic season of action and comic books. You really need to watch this, people. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe. But until next time, remember to love yourselves.